This is part 4 of the Coral Plus ride. You may remember that Farouk is on holiday, so there's no current footage. This footage I took on the 29th of July 2022 and have not uploaded it, so I thought you might enjoy seeing him at least, even if it was a little while ago. I've had one or two people talking in the comments to me about going steady on people's land. So I'm presuming, though it doesn't of course say where you're from, that these probably are comments from our friends across the pond where you aren't allowed to go on people's land. Now in England, and Wales, Scotland is different, and I'll just mention that in a moment, but in England and Wales we have bridleways and footpaths. Now these are public bridleways and public footpaths, which means that for centuries you've been allowed to go across people's private land sticking to these tracks. They are specifically marked. There's an Ordnance Survey map which shows what bridleways and footpaths are available in your area. Here is an Ordnance Survey map of the area that we are covering. You'll see that there's the church there, and then you'll see there is the ford where we ride over those stones or through water, depending what time of year. You can easily tell the difference between footpaths and bridleways, remembering horses are not allowed on footpaths. This is the next section. I've indicated our direction with the black arrows. You'll see we're going through woodland. Then we come to the stone bridge. You'll see the cauldron, which is the stone building. That's on your right hand side as you're coming up to the hill that we've just gone up, and we'll go along the edge of the field. Then you'll see where we are. Where I'm speaking to you is you are here. These OS maps cover the whole of the United Kingdom. So this is what I use when I want to try a new bridleway in a certain area. Scotland is different. They don't have bridleways marked on their OS map because you are allowed to roam anywhere in Scotland on your horse, subject to certain conditions. But I won't go into those because it all gets very complicated, and we're not in Scotland. The longer green line is a bridleway, the little dotted green line is to denote footpaths. Horses are not allowed to go on footpaths. People are allowed to walk on bridleways, and there are much more footpaths than there are bridleways. Farmers are mostly very good and make sure that they maintain the bridleway as it should be, as in it has been for generations. Unfortunately, there are some farmers, and it seems to be getting more and more prevalent as I get older anyway, that deliberately take down bridle signs and to discourage people that might happen on them by accident. If they've seen a public bridleway sign, as we will just look at this when we come to the road, they may say, oh, there's a bridleway, we'll go there. People like myself and keen walkers will have an Ordnance Survey map of the area. This is not a normal map, it is a map showing in greater detail how the land lies. It shows the contours, it shows the public bridleways, that sort of thing. Now here is a typical sign. There you can see quite clearly public bridleway. So anybody, walkers or people on horses, are allowed to go down that lane. That is your right. Some farmers are trying to stop people going across their land. Unfortunately, nowadays, the Parks Department are not taking as much notice as they should when complaints are raised. So we have to really use these bridleways, otherwise we will lose them. They'll just get overgrown, and then the farmers will say, oh, well, nobody uses this bridleway, let's just close it. A deliberate policy, and and I'm sorry that some farmers are like this. I'm not saying all farmers are. We have some lovely farmers, especially around here. But there are some farmers that think, I'll just stop people coming over my land. They have no right to do so. But it's up to us, people that walk and ride, to keep them open. We must keep going on them, even if he makes it difficult. All you can do is report it to the Parks Department. You might be able to report it to the BHS in England and Wales. They may help you, as they're quite keen to maintain and not lose the bridleways that we are losing, and we have lost a number. Now I want to talk about Scotland. Scotland is completely different, and a few years ago they brought out the right to roam. Now I think that always was the case, but they made it legal now. So you can go on anybody's land without bridleway signs. They don't have bridleways in Scotland, but you are allowed to go on foot and on horseback across people's land. Providing, of course, that you shut the gates, you keep to the headland. This would be a headland. That is your crop. This is your headland that goes right round your field. You're allowed to go on your headland. Farmers are not allowed to stop you by putting up locking gates and that sort of thing. I have never ridden in Scotland, so I am not an expert on this, but I know if you look it up on Google, right to roam Scotland, that'll give you some information, and I think that's really great. I can understand them not wanting you to go through the garden, but then again, you can't have a garden that's 20 acres. You know, that's not garden, is it? That's garden and land.
I've just thought, with talking to you about public footpaths and bridleways, are we the only country that has this system where you can go across big areas of land that you don't own just to purely enjoy nature? I've only just thought about it because, of course, I get a lot of comments from the United States where private land is very private and you'll be shot. Well, because we don't have anything like that here. And I'm just wondering, wouldn't it be a shame if we're the only country in the world that does this? Because there's an awful lot of big landowners that really don't want you on their land. They want to keep it all to themselves. And they can't possibly enjoy all their acreage. They just won't see it all. So wouldn't it a shame if us common people could never go out and walk down a field and see the corn and well, let me know anyway. Let me know if your country has the right to roam or bridleways and footpaths. Let me know, because it'd be interesting, wouldn't it, to know what countries you can go to and walk about in safely. Having lived in New Zealand for some years, I do remember doing the Kaikoura walk. I think that was a 2-day walk, and we stopped at little farms that provided shelter and some food. So that was good, but I don't remember there being very many of those sort of walks, and I'm not sure if that was a bridleway or it was just a walk. Anyway, my New Zealand friends, let me know. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. We love reading the comments, we love emojis, and we'd love a thumbs up. Would you like to look at some of our older videos? If so, all you need to do is click on the Apollo icon, which will take you to our home page. We have over 2,000 videos to choose from. Thanks for watching TTFN.